just came to have a good time. I guess we're here for a long time. Your girl, her name is Adjose. I guess she's here for a long time. We just came to have a good time. I guess we're here.
Hello, welcome to my channel. In this video today, we're going to be talking about things we wish we know before coming to Canada, Abby, or culture shocks coming to Canada. So, number one, cost of living. Cost of living. How is cost of living for you?
Cost of living is quite expensive because we're in the GTA, Toronto area.
Yes, go on.
There are other areas that is less expensive. Areas like London, Kitchener, I think Oshawa. I don't know. I'm not sure about that place.
Yeah.
But for GTA, which is the Greater Toronto Area, hear the name, Greater Toronto Area. The rent is a lot.
Skyrockets. It's ridiculous. Basement now, you can't even find a 2-bedroom, a decent basement for like a small family of maybe 3. The price is like $3,500.
Oh my God! Don't mind that she's exaggerating. It's not that much.
No, $3,000.
That's
Some
robbery.
even $4,000.
She's joking. Basement
Who's
is not
joking?
55.
$4,000.
Except maybe it's like a 3-bedroom basement and 2 bath.
Even 1 bedroom. I saw one that was $3,500. Ha! I said, well, we get the hotel treatment or something.
But if the thing about GTA is if you're patient enough, like really patient, which it's hard in this country because you have to pay.
Patience in this country.
You have to pay. You have to go to work. But if you are patient, let's assume that you don't have work. I am very patient. That's what you are doing. Take your time.
Yeah,
you actually find something.
Yeah,
you'll be probably one of the lucky people that will get a fair price.
But I won't lie, it's hard. And then if you're
but
another thing
small,
is credit
though.
score. Credit score. If your credit score is not a certain thing, they'll deny you constantly. So and then coming to Canada, you don't really have credit like that. You're starting from zero basically. So you basically have to take out, let's say, credit card, banks, all these things to build up your credit score.
Yeah, and another good thing is to know somebody, because some people will ask for guarantor if you don't have credit score.
It's true. Yeah,
they'll be like, okay, we need a guarantor that can show his own credit score and stuff like that.
Speaking of knowing somebody, that's another thing. Familiarity with people. If you have family here, it's a good thing, because if you don't have anyone here, it's hard. I won't lie to you, it's very hard. I don't even know. Abby, is it hard? Like,
well, I can't relate because my sister was here.
As in, me too. My husband was here. My in-laws were here.
But even as my sister was here, it was still hard. Then I'm trying to imagine those that don't have anybody here. To be honest, it's really difficult.
Hard.
It's really difficult to come here without knowing anybody.
Yeah, and then you don't know your way around either. Like, it's good to.
You need to try to join the WhatsApp group to know somebody before coming, or a church community.
Yeah,
there are lots of church that do landing pathway for people, to help them pick them up from the airport. My church, we do it for one. Pick them up from the airport, get them a place to stay for a few days until they settle in and stuff like that. Because on your own, you're gonna have to pay for Airbnb.
Oh my, yes.
Or hotel. I don't know, for a while until you're able to get a place. And we just talked about getting a place, so it's not going to be easy for you to get a place.
It's not at all.
At all. If you don't know anybody.
Especially if you're a student, they don't really like doing students, because some people mess that thing up, the students, where they don't really accept students like that. They prefer a small family of 3, or they deny you. So
that's why most homeowners take advantage of students, because they feel like they're desperate, they don't have any other person to go to, and they need a place, so they rent a 1 room to them for $1,000 plus for 1 room, without anything, without TV, without this thing. And it's gonna be a small room, and that 1,000 is not one person. It's 2 people in a room paying 1,000. That's 2,000 in one small room.
Scammers.
One of our friends said he was staying in a room where he was actually paying 500, but there were 2 in the room. They were paying for 500, but they were not allowed to use the kitchen.
I don't understand. What?
So they're paying rent of 500. That means the person does not have money now.
So what am I supposed to do?
How a person eats? You still want a person to be spending money on food.
So where is he? I don't understand.
Will
Will I not cook?
Some people are very terrible.
That doesn't make any sense.
I was like,
I'll report him.
If the room is 500, what do you expect?
Oh, God.
Canada is not for the weak.
It's really not. Another thing, the weather. Oh, if you're coming from a sunny place,
like Nigeria,
if you're coming from somewhere where it's not very, it doesn't get cold often, it's gonna be a shock for you. Like, even me, even though I came from America, I was in the south of America. It doesn't get cold like it does here in Canada. When I first experienced winter here, I remember I went outside my door. It was frozen shut. I was shocked. I was like, I had to beat it like with my key. I had to beat the door to break the ice to open it. I was like, So it was cold like this. Snow will be up to here. You'll be feeling snow in your pants like this, shoveling snow. And then traffic. People still try to drive fast in the snow. Terrible. Bus schedule, when it's snowing, bus schedule is somehow. Because you'll see a bunch of people waiting outside because they can't move their cars out the driveway due to the snow, so they end up taking the bus. So if you want to get to work on time that day when it's snowing very heavily, you need to leave 4 hours early even, if you want to make it there on time. So
yeah, there's one thing most people don't know, even those that are in Canada now, that have been in Canada for a while, they don't know that during winter, you don't pour normal water in your car. You know that place you carry the full water, you don't put normal water. They sell a particular type of water designed for winter.
See, I didn't even know that. I've been doing regular water since.
Yes.
It was her that told me this thing. So now I know that I get the winter water versus the
yes, because if you use the normal regular water, it dries up fast because it's cold, right? It just freeze up and
useless. You can't even.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Another thing, employment. Well, to get employment here is hard, especially if you're somewhere here where it's like, should I say it?
Other race, ethnicity, what we call them? Is it ethnicity or race?
Ethnicities that's dominant.
You know.
If you know what we're saying. We're in Brampton, Browntown, I is what they call it. So here, they basically help their own. So you'll just be getting interview after interview, but no callbacks. That was very frustrating for me in the beginning. It was very, very hard for me. They'll see me, they'll be like, oh, do you speak, I can't say that. This certain, like the Browntown language, can you speak it? Obviously, I can't speak it, so I don't qualify for this job. Like, and then they'll call in, like they'll be speaking amongst themselves, and it's frustrating, honestly. If you want to find a job here in the GTA, I suggest you go to places where it's predominantly white people because they speak English. So if you're coming from an English-speaking country, then it's easier to work with them than to somebody that's always coming in speaking a different language. At least for me. What about you?
Yeah, it's true now. It's true, but we have the lucky few that get the job, you know.
Yeah.
If
you're lucky, if they like you enough.
Yeah, and most areas this kind of thing happen is probably like clinic or places where you're facing people, like the people facing positions.
Yeah.
Customer care. But if you're working like a supervisor or maybe director or manager where you're not really facing anybody, you're working at the back end, you're likely to get the job. But front facing, hard.
Competition. Next one.
Daycare.
Oh God, daycare wait list. Don't get me started on the daycare wait list, man. Daycare. They even have options if you haven't born a child yet. The option is that you can apply while the baby's still inside. That's how long the wait list is, because they'll be doing 2 years from now. You'll call them. You'll say, okay, so when are you looking for a sitter? I'll say, okay, how about 3 months? Oh no, we're not due until 2028. One lady told me 2028. From this year till 2028, that's when we'll be open. Like, how do you expect to have parents come in 2028?
And you're calling them in 2025.
Like,
okay.
It's ridiculous. I said, if that's the case, they should build more. Where are our taxes going to? They should build more daycares that are funded by the government. It's not enough if we have to wait. We're on the wait list for a year or so.
That's more than a year.
As in
25. Like 2025 now. 26, 20, 3 years.
3 years. Yeah. But then they'll tell you to go to their other location. You call the other location. They tell you, oh my, 2 years, 2027. They'll direct you to their other location. Then they'll say, okay, next year. And 5 months. What about you for daycare? Was it hard?
Nah, I didn't do daycare. No.
Oh. So the good things about Canada, I like that it's very diverse here. Like you'll see different cultures, which is kind of interesting because where I'm coming from, I don't really see a lot of different cultures like that. I do, but it's not as diverse as Canada here. So they have festivals like Caravana. I think the Indians have like Diwali. Some areas, I believe they do like a Black History Parade or some
my office, like in Toronto, they do it. We did it also in my office.
Oh, yeah, it's really nice, and you get to experience that too. Different restaurants, and you get to taste different foods, like all these Thai, Japanese, Chinese, Ethiopian, different foods normally. What do you want to say more?
I wanted to say something that is like not even related. In Canada,
She's bringing something.
Every socket is like this. Can you see? Every socket is like this. Every socket.
Okay, it's not the 3.
It's not 3. Oh, if you are coming to Canada, buy your charger. You know, our charger in Nigeria and most other countries are like 3 or round. It's like this. Oh, thin, the thin one. Unless you come here and start using an adapter or extension. If I say, it's Apple, all my chargers, I have to like throw away all the, and I brought like lots of head of chargers. So I have to maintain the charger. I have to the waste. So yesterday I got only cause and it's quite expensive, right? I had to get only one, and I was using one for all my merchandise. Another thing is side hustle. You know, we talked about the employment issues and stuff like that. For someone like me, right, I do a lot of side hustle. I sew, I make hair, I cook, I do events like organization, lots of things, right? So if you're coming to Canada, it is best you learn a trade, learn one skill, because when you come, you might be among the lucky people that will apply and get a job immediately, and you just may not. So instead of staying and like trying to figure out how you're going to eat, or still getting money from the Nigerian currency or whatever currency you're still using, which is going to be more when you exchange it to this rate, to this currency here. With your skills, you can start earning little things. For me, when I came and I didn't have a job, I was a student and stuff. I was making hair. I put the ad on Facebook Market and Kijiji, and people were actually calling me. So I was making hair for people. They were coming over to make their hair. I was going over to make them their hair. And you know, hair here is very expensive. Yes. You can make one person's hair for like 150. 150 is even like the least. 150, 180. You know,
not in those braiding shops,
stuff like that. So I was making cool money, like at least in a week or in 2 weeks, I've gotten like 1,000 grand. So why won't I be able to pay my rent or eat? So you need to learn a skill. It's not a must. Like I said, you can come and get a job immediately, or you can have enough money in your bank account that's Nigerian currency or whatever currency that can still maintain, that can still carry you to get a job by the grace of God. But you need to plan for the worst scenario. What if that money finishes and you've not got any job? Or if you come and you don't have that money and you don't get a job immediately.
That's a very good point.
So you need to like have a skill. Handy.
Backup plan, especially. Be handy. That could be a side hustle. Just making, even if it's just...
At the time, I even did babysitting.
You did?
Me. I hustled in this Canada.
I didn't even know this.
I babysitting. I joined like an app where they do babysitting. So I was going to people's place to babysit just to get a little money and stuff like that.
Yes, so I can't go to people's house and babysit. Not everybody's kid is.
I was just laugh that's not from my mind just because I'm trying to play with their children. Oh, that's cool. I'm like, my friend, in my mind, I'm like, my friend, will you do this till let me go to my house? But
and certain cultures, they don't. Let me not even go down that road. At least the way I grew up, you will be. There's a certain way you don't disrespect elders like this, and these children, they have strength these days. They talk back. They say, "Oh, I'm not gonna do that, mommy." Okay. If I said that to my mom, I might as well plan my funeral the next day.
Last one we're talking about is transportation.
Yes, you need a car in Canada. That's
Basically.
it. That's it. Because me, I remember when I first came to Canada, I was confused between the buses. So there's northbound and southbound. So one day I was trying to come back home and I kept getting on the wrong bus. I was like, why is this thing taking me further away from the house? And I now have to call my husband and be like, I'm lost. I got off the bus and gave up. I started walking. I was going to walk I want to say 35 minutes away. I was going to walk all the way back to the house because I gave up on the bus. So I just called my husband. I got tired from walking. I said, hey, how do we, what am I doing wrong? I'm on the bus, but it keeps taking me back. It didn't click to my mind that I was going wrong bus.
Wrong direction.
I kept going further away from the house. And I said, you're on the wrong side. Get on the other side. And I was like, oh, okay, it makes sense.
Because it's the same number, the same everything.
Yes.
Just north and
And you have to read that north and south very well, because if not, you'll be
and
going
there's some
further
that
away.
eastbound, westbound,
East-
so you
ah,
just need to
yes.
be Google Smart. You need to know how to use your Google Smart, basically. But aside from that, the duration it takes you to get from a place with bus. Assuming I'm just going to Walmart, that is 5 minutes. When you enter bus, it can take you 35 minutes to get to Walmart.
Because they'll take you round.
They have to take you around. They'll be like, there's a route we always follow. We can't just go. So they have to take you around. Like, you're like, see where I'm going to now? It's just 5 minutes.
Right here,
like,
close
if
to my
I
house.
If I walked out, I've gotten there. But no, they'll take you around. Or if you're going to Mississauga, you're going to another place that is maybe a 30 minutes drive.
You have to go around through town first.
They
Then
take 2 hours
they take
plus,
you
2
out.
hours. When I was going to school then with bus, my school with bus is over 2 hours. But with
That's
car
ridiculous.
it's 30-something minutes.
That's ridiculous. 2 hours.
If not less. I'm like, So
You
I've
have
been
to-
suffering.
You have to wake up very
I've
early.
been suffering like this. What I even realized was one day I was late. I'm like, let me use Uber. So I was even scared that the money will be too much. When I didn't enter Uber, I was not seeing $20-something. I'm like, You know, so on Johnny, I now checked. I'm like, oh, it's true. Because I usually don't check cars because it's bus I use. I'm like, oh my god, this is just 25 minutes or 30 minutes, depending on traffic.
You won't know. You won't know unless.
So I'm like, So unless you are, like I said, unless you have patience, you don't have work you are going to. Or you are somebody that has work by 7 and you can wake up by 3 or 4 to be on the road, which you will never see bus by 4.
As in, because 3 o'clock is when school lets out. So everyone is on the bus trying to.
No, I'm not talking about
jobs.
I'm not talking about. I'm talking about morning when you have to go to work in the morning. Around 4, before you see bus, go we finish your film before you see bus. Just so that
you have no choice but to Uber. No choice but to Uber.
So
and they'll take their sweet time.
To be honest, car is a necessity. It's really necessary in Canada.
What about the train stations in Canada? I haven't experienced the train yet.
Train is good. Train is good, but it's not all train stations that run frequently. Some might run now, and the next train comes in like 2 hours or 3 hours. So if you miss your first train, or you're on your own, you need to find another way unless you want to wait. But for us now in this area, especially in my own side where I stay, the train comes in like 30 minutes. So I'm lucky if I miss my train, I can always use the next one. In less than 30 minutes if it comes in.
So it's good to have a train station near, or if you're near a bus stop, but it's better to have a car. So just keep that in mind I need to bring money for a car. Even if it's just a cash card, maybe a simple car that you just use around town. Because I won't lie, these cars here are expensive. If you want to go up, let's say 2021 up,
just buy a car, that can carry you till you have enough money to buy
the car that you want. That's what we did. We just got one simple car like that and nothing fancy. And then
but get ready to pay insurance. Everybody must do insurance. It's not like other country where you can just buy a car and be roaming around and you don't have to do. You can't even drive a car on the road without having insurance.
Nope.
So that one's not money. If you're coming to Brampton, the money for insurance is quite high, but other areas is fair.
Depending on the car, I should say.
The area.
The insurance. Yes, area too. But if the car is not up to date, I don't think insurance will be that high. But if you now start getting into accidents, that's when insurance starts to increase.
Claims. It's called claims, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's it from us today. If you
Yes.
have other questions you would like to know, you're coming to Canada and you'd
Please.
like to know a certain thing, even if it has to do with school, I've got some experience with school. If you need help with jobs, we've got some experience. We can try to help you.
Try.
But if you have any question, the house
It's
living,
it's
the
mostly
best.
her with the school. I mean, I don't know. School.
She went to school. I don't know what she's talking about. It. She went to school. She has job. But not that's what she's saying. If you have questions with housing, the best place for that's affordable for you, you know, in your pockets. Comment.
Come, we got you. We got you.
Comment session.
We're your sisters. Don't worry, we got you. We'll help you out.
Alright, so
I'm Zaza,
and I'm Ify.
and this is Vibe Check.
See ya.
Yeah.
Bye.